back you up just a little bit, tell you how Clear Channel came about. Headquarters of the company is in San Antonio. And years before they were the powerhouse that they are, there was a car dealer in San Antonio. The big car dealer and some of his business partners gave another business guy a loan to buy a radio station in San Antonio. They gave the guy the loan and he defaulted. So here they are, owning a radio station and not knowing anything about it. Before too long, they started to notice that these minutes of time, 60 seconds, was just like a unit, a car, a truck or an SUV or whatever it might have been. So as that grew, they liked the radio business a lot more than the car business. And they started buying stations. Their background is all Wall Street because all they see is units. Selling these units, how much can we get for these spots? And the advertising dollar is driving the entire company.
What's ended up happening now is, one parent company owns almost 1,240 radio stations, almost 1,200 stations more than they were legally allowed to have in 1996. And when people hear that, they know that 40 to 1,200, that's too much. And as soon as they could see that, they understood that something dramatic was taking place and something that they didn't want to happen in other areas of media.
This is one of the things that's so chilling, again, about, in my opinion, about Clear Channel and how they control so many stations. And it's clear that they don't even care about that anymore. They're not even going to play that game and act like there's any pretense of you listening to a local DJ.
There are only certain demographics that are associated to the kinds of advertising revenue that can sustain the price points that they paid for these stations. So it's not an accident that, every big company that comes into a market wants to have their pop radio station, because that's where they see their real income and revenue coming in.
You got to sell your Coca-Cola and your Chips Ahoy and your Nabisco and your Super Deluxe tampons. And then you figure out how to fit the music in.
The thing that's really striking about radio now and radio consolidation is that you're very aware that things are not programmed for how much do you like them. They're programmed for, do you not dislike it enough that you won't turn it off?
The first thing that shocked me was this playlist thing. That was when I was like, what do you mean? We have to play this? We have to play this in this order? These same songs over and over?
People tend to pick things that are immediately attractive as opposed to things that might grow on you. You wonder whether a Bob Dylan hit would have ever been a hit if it was focus grouped.
If you play something that's not highly recognized by the listener, you run the risk of the listener changing the station. So you constantly want to hit them with things that are familiar and test high.
And I would send these little notes to the program director and say, can we play this maybe? Or have you thought about this? And I would always get these, well, always. I would sometimes get a nice response. It was like, well, we have these focus groups and we test out the music and this is really what people want to hear.
It's amazing. I mean, they come in with 18-wheelers, they pull it off, they set up their own auditorium with chairs and it's a big row and people come in and they're just all the way around and they play songs. Did you kind of like it? Didn't like it? Hated it. And you just listen to little samples. And they have the demographic profile of everybody that came in the room, male, female, income.
I feel like it was Stalin or something that said something like, it's not who votes, it's how the votes are counted, right? So, I'm wondering, what are they being offered to choose from? Who makes that decision? I could never find out.
It's music for the masses, even if you have the people that love music and are, God, I wish they would stop playing that song so much, I'm changing the channel. If the masses are staying, they're winning.
Clear Channel didn't make radio. Radio made Clear Channel. But that's not the way that Clear Channel thinks about it. The excitement of the invention of radio, that energy will go somewhere else and find a place to blossom there. And probably something like Clear Channel would chase it down and find a way to exploit it.